What's up, folks? Got us a little bit of a different one today. Like I said, we do it all around here. Got a tube we got to put in on the rear tire of this electric bike. My son got this for Christmas, and about a month later the back tire blew out. Don't know why. Of course, they probably come with cheap quality parts, just like everything else does these days. But we're gonna switch out this rear tire today. Guess we got to start by flipping it over. See if we can make this thing bounce. That didn't sound good. I know that's going to be aggravating, but let's get you in here a little bit, see what's going on. So we're going to start by removing this mud flap here. Looks like it's just two Allen heads on each side and a Phillips head right there. So let me grab that Allen wrench and get us a little steady. See how fun this is going to be right here. Power's off. That's always the first. If anybody cares about safety, we'll just get down and dirty with it, boy. I ain't scared of it. It's a knuckle buster. Let me grab something else. Look at that fancy setup right there. Ain't that something? We'll get it done. Should have made it a little longer. And of course, you're going to lose a tool you just had. Like I said, cheap, 3 months old, already got rust all over these bolts. I mean, we couldn't have spent 10 cents more and got a stainless steel bolt. So let's see, yeah, get that out of my face. How you like this right here? A little spray foam action. You know, that's one of my tricks I like to try first. But I had a tube in there, and to do that correctly, you want to put a hole in the tire so the air can come out. And when you put it in there, it's just blowing that tube up, and it has nowhere for that air to go. All right, let's get the wrench out of here and get that rear off. I doubt you're gonna have this same bike. This is like, I think, Walmart special. It's a Q3, whatever that means. But if you do have it, it's gonna be a 3/4 inch. Let's see. Should just be able to loosen these up. Except for this side, because of the kickstand, it's gonna have to come off completely. Get out of here. Let's just loosen that one up. Take this one all the way out. Man, I hate putting tubes on tires like this, so small. It can be aggravating. Let's take this chain out of my face. Too easy. Pull that chain out the way. Tire should slide off, but we got a brake cable over here. It's not doing you no good if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's brake. It goes all the way, but there's nothing here. Let's figure this out. Start me. That's not a brake cable. That's the power for the motor. I'm gonna cut these zip ties right here to kind of give me some space. Maybe it'll give me enough slack to put it on the floor here. Just cut them. Zip ties are a dime a dozen. I ain't stressing it. Like I said, this should be pretty accurate for most anything with back tires on it, as long as it's tubed. I don't think I need to cut that one. Get out of there. There we go. We're free now. That's got some weight to it, that motor back there. I'm gonna lay this over. Kind of give us a little more slack on that wire. I think we can work with that, dude. Let's see what it does. I probably can go into this control box here and disconnect that, but I really don't want to have to. Let's see how bad it's going to be. There's no air in it, so I ain't got to worry about that. Oh, let's get some tire tools. Hang on. I guess these are called tire irons. I don't want to damage it if I don't have to, but got that one on there. Get it in there. It's gonna be a little tough because of that foam. Let's just keep going around the tire. Get out of my face. We got a little bit of tube. That's probably what happened, is it got pinched, but I don't know. The man's been riding on it for a flat tire. I mean, it ain't gonna hurt the rim. But I tell you, I don't like these small tires. Here we go. Here we go. That's why I like it. Keep on separating it on around by hand now. Don't want to yank that wire out of there. Kind of went about the wrong way with this. If I was going to replace this tire, I'd want to come on this side of the wire harness because it's going to be trapped, but it's going right back on, so it shouldn't matter. Another little thing I'm hoping for here is I really don't think we need to take the tire all the way off. Another little trick I've learned about these tubes, not worth fighting with. So what you do, I don't know, get you some scissors. Or even a little knife and just cut that joker out of there. We don't need it. We don't need you. Need you telling me. Ooh, boy, it's wrapped in there too. He shouldn't have been riding it, huh? Let's get some needle nose. Can't get a grip. Yeah, he done wound it up in there, boy. Take your knife just to make it a little easier. Try not to cut yourself. That's a great idea. Cut it off. Get out of there. Look at that nasty foam. I shouldn't have done it, but you know what? I didn't want to have to do this, and here I am. Look at me now. I'll clean this all up later. It's not worth crying about right now. Look at there. Still got some spray foam that didn't cure. Let me get that nasty mess off of there. All right, easy part's done. Didn't get no slime on the wheel, or in the wheel. All right, where's that new one at? Come on over here. Take that cap off. Try not to lose it. Try not to let that wire get too wound bound, you know what I'm talking about. Put the stem in there first. Let's flip this thing inside out. Put it in there. Go and put your cap back on so it won't come out of there while you're working on it. Shouldn't come through that hole. Alright, and then what you want to do is just start pushing it back in the tire. Nip and tuck, baby, nip and tuck. Like I said, it would be a little easier just to take this tire off. You know, it's just sometimes it ain't worth fighting with something. Make it easy on yourself as you can. Sometimes you might scratch your rim, but take that and just go at it like that and separate it. Once again, should have been on the other side, but it's not a huge deal to do that. I mean, we'll get this snow foam out of there, boy. Goodness, that wasn't a great idea, but it's not going to pinch the tube. I think it adds a little extra cushion. Might be extra nice, but hey, look at there. I don't think these are directional. Yeah, they are. I lied. Might be. So that's going to kind of change it up. Take your cap back off. Sorry I wasted your time. Pull that tube out of there. Remember, it's kind of like, it needs to go inside out a little bit. I want to put it in the tire. Work it around town. It's going to be looking like it's a little big, but it's going to get to the deeps, the inside of this. And now this is where it becomes fun. You want to bend it a little bit in there just so it doesn't pinch it on the sides of this tire, because if that gets in there between that rim, goes the weasel, and you're going to be doing it again, and you'll learn. And that's why, maybe why I ordered 2-pack of these tubes, because I'm going to be doing it again. They think this is a BMX bike, and well, clearly it's not. So the direction's going that way. We're going to go that way too, if they recommend that. This is the fun part. Make sure you poke that up in there. Sometimes what you can do is go ahead and take it, push it in there, squeeze that tire together. See there, and then you don't have to worry about it coming out and getting pinched in that wheel. Go ahead and line up your valve stem with your hole too, so you don't have to wiggle it around once you're in there. Alright, so work it around. Now we can kind of push that tube more our way. From this side back to me while we're doing it. Don't pinch it! Okay, here's the fun part. Get that tube in there. Hide it until we can get it in. Get in there. Pop goes the weasel. Alright, I'm going to cheat a little bit and take my tire iron again and pry it up in there, being careful that I only catch the tire. I don't want to pinch that tube in there either. Alright, so there's our valve stem. A little bit off of our hole, but we can kind of twist it. Poquito más. That's it. That's where she's going to shine at right there. Now, this is the fun part. Let's poke that up in there so it doesn't get caught. And then bring it around. Bring it on around. Look at that. Then we're going to turn it a little bit just to get that valve stem going in there. This is going to be the fun part. Ta-da! Look at there. That looks so tacky. I might take some time and scrub that off. Made myself more work doing that, but you're not. going on the highway with this thing. It's not going to throw off balance. Look at there. So just pull that tube, make sure it's good and snug. That's it, boys and girls. Now sometimes it's pretty straight. What you can do if it's kicking off to the side is turn it. See that? Just get it as straight and pretty as you can. This little tire, I'm not very worried about getting the air compressor out for it. So I'm gonna just do that old-fashioned manual. All right, again, just kind of visually inspect with your hands in your eyeballs to make sure you don't see that tube porking its little self out the side. Because when you put air on it, that's when it's going to push up against that rim and cause it to go pop-a-doodle-doo. So I think we look pretty. So let's just put a little bit of air in it. That's one pump. Getting there. Again, just check it. So far, so good. Let's put another pump in it. Wait, yep. Yeah. I like to just squeeze it because it's going to naturally expand and get up in these far walls of the tire. But let's just check it with our face balls, make sure we don't see anything. It's so good. Kind of make sure it's kind of going on straight, so when you're riding it don't look like little fish swimming away from you. Let's check it. So what I mean by that is, if you notice, you got this kind of like etched part here. See how it's kind of sticking up off the rim, and that's sticking up into the rim more. So just make sure that line right there is about, well, it's not about, that's where you want the wheel to kiss up against. So that's too far up, so I'm going to need to push it down. What I'm going to do is pull this out a little bit by hand. I may have to let air out, I hope not, but same way with this side, just so it's straight. So let's see. Alright, so that's what I'm talking about right there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's beautifully equally all the way around, so we're good to go. Put another couple pumps in here. I'm not very worried about getting the pressure just right. I won't worry about that until I get it put together and stand it up just to make it pretty. But that's nice right there. That's probably about where we want it anyway. So I'm gonna disconnect, find your cap. Look at there, see, it's still a little loose. You like that, it's not in a bind and being pushed up. Throw that back in, put it back together. Make sure I didn't drop any parts off of here, but I think we're Gucci. I really need to, let me flip this little guy back up. Alright, let's see. Make sure that wire's not twisting too bad. I think that's about it right there. These little things go on the inside just to keep it axle straight and all, but we got to also put it back in this disc brake. So you got to kind of go in at an angle. Real nice like. Turn that wheel. Push that in. Now the chain tensioner over here, I didn't even worry about loosening it because it's going back where I found it. So my foot on there to keep it from moving. Kind of just making sure that, you know what, I wonder. Yeah, that's kind of how it was. That's right. Go. Now we're starting to cook. Let me see if I can do that a little. So what I'm going to do, instead of arguing with this thing and fighting it to get it in that caliper just right, I'm going to take this top screw off. I think I can loosen this one and then just right out of my way. And Let's see if that idea will work. Oh wow. They spent the money and had some thread locker put on that thing right there now, boy. That's something else. Alright, let's loosen that one. Again, every bike's gonna be different. Like I said, I doubt you got this old thing anyways. I guess there's some out there, and there's always somebody looking for it. So let's now we got it. Let's make sure my washers are in the right spot over here. Yep, we're doing it now. We're done. Well, not really, but you know what I'm saying. That's money right there, dude. So take your spacer, put it back on, put your nut back on. I'm not going to tighten this yet because we got to put the chain on. Just do a little hand snug. Alright, let's go ahead and put that chain on. For me, I like to put the back on first. It's the chain back on, usually on the wheel side. And what I'm saying is you put it on there, and then you lay it over the top here, and then you just pedal that guy over, pedal her over, and she puts it right where she wants it. So now, I'm going to put that caliper back together. Find old screwski. Make sure you're in between the pads. We are. And then just put her back on. Snug. Thread locker should be fine. You ain't causing no heat friction back here. Sweet. How will they know? How will they know? They're gonna know. Sweet. All right. Well, let's you know what? I'm gonna tighten this chain up. It's just a little looser than I think it should be. I was gonna just see that right there is your tensioner, and when you tighten it, it pulls that wheel back and puts pressure and tension on that drive sprocket. But it's just a little loose. I mean, but that's where it was. But you know, they wear out and get loose over time, and I don't want to hear about it in a week from now about it coming off. Yeah, that's just on there like a hand tight. So yeah, that's where it needs to be. But watch you tighten it up. I don't even think I need the dang ratchet. That's got some. You don't want it tight, but you want to have a little bit of play in it. That's almost on the borderline of too tight to me. So let's loosen it up. That's hold the line. That's where we want it at right there. Yeah, we got to put that back. That's good because it's going to get loose again. So let's go ahead and tighten our sprocket back down. I'm sorry, our axle. Well, one of my guys right here came out a little bit. I'm just going to tilt it up. Almost. Let me loosen that bolt. We're in there like swimwear now, boys and girls. Alright, so that's hand tight. That's good. Let's snug her up. I wouldn't put my Hulk arms into this thing, you know. So really all I'm going to do is zip tie this up real quick, that wire that we cut for the motor, and we can end the video here. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing else to do. We'll probably put a little bit of air in the tire. make sure it rides, which I'm sure it does, but we got air in it now. So I think we're good to go. That's a little too tight, and that's normal. So sometimes when you tighten these down, when you tighten it, it's pulling the tire back slightly. So I'm gonna loosen it up a little bit, get it just right, because I don't want to break the chain either. Can't have it too tight. See what happened? What happened? Well, let's try to loosen her up just a pinch. Oh yeah. Tighten it back up. Try that. See that she likes that. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Don't pay nobody $25 to put on no darn bike tire. So I'm gonna put some air in it here. I don't see why we need to go any further, but she's done, and hope it doesn't blow out next week. Thanks again for watching. If you're into this kind of stuff, which is just a lot of tinkering is what I call it. I'm doing it every day, something new every day. I think what do I got next to do? I got that 70 Trail 70 out there. I'll be rebuilding the carburetor and putting it back together. If you're into this kind of stuff, just like I said, in and out every day, something different. Heck, tomorrow I might rebuild the chicken coop, I don't know. But also this mud flap, like I said, that's nothing you care to watch. It's just those 2 bolts. And again, some bikes might not even have a mud flap, but just gonna bolt that back up and call it a day with this project and make the kids happy for a few more hours. Thanks again, and if you like this stuff, like and subscribe. That's how you help me out, and I'll keep doing it as long as you keep allowing me to. So again, thank you again for watching. Have a blessed day. All right, did anybody catch what I missed on putting this thing back together? Because this show slipped my mind, and I didn't notice it until I had already turned it over and trying to find the kickstand. But it's back on. These things call for 40 PSI. I put 35 in there. I don't like maxing it out. I can eat 40 donuts. Don't mean that I should. So she's ready to peel and squeal. We're ready to go. So I'm gonna let the boy have his bike back. We'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks.